Today, I'm going to try and answer some very difficult questions you have. Mainly, how much lower will the market realistically go, and how much pain do you have left to go through? I'm also going to discuss what could make this market go up. And then finally, I'm going to finish off this video by sharing the major concern I have regarding the markets right now, and something that's actually been affecting me emotionally. So that will be quite interesting to go through with you. But before we start, please remember that nothing in this video is financial advice, and I'm not a financial advisor. So first, let's go over the current market conditions. I made this video 3 weeks ago where I said the following. The remaining bullish sentiment can be wiped out by just doing nothing for a really long time. 8 years of more time-based capitulation that we had in 2023. I think retest the 58 to 60k is a decent spot to de-risk if you're overexposed. Just so psychologically, if we do go to 40k again, can handle it. Because let me tell you something, a lot of people did actually look at their portfolio balances during this collapse because of how fast it went. But it becomes scary when price starts to slowly approach this level again. And then also 40k at 35k. Now we overshot that leg to 64k, and I made an alert in premium at that time to start taking some holdings into cash. And the second scary part I mentioned in the clip where I said a slow bleed down to 48k region could come and it would scare a lot more people than the initial 48 crash on August 5th is exactly what's played out. The second leg down now is causing a lot more fear than this one did over here. And the reason I suspected that this could happen was purely based on prior experience in the market and knowing what happens after huge liquidation events like the one that we had in early August. So now you're thinking, okay, you got that right. We're here now on that second scary trip down lower. What's next? How much more pain is yet to come? And that's what I'm going to spend the rest of the video answering for you. So I'm going to take you through the current market cycle. I have a mental model in place where I split up the market cycle into two distinct components. The first is the broader market cycle. This is on the monthly time frame and requires thinking in terms of months and years as opposed to day-to-day price action. And the second is understanding the intracycle regime. This means on the daily to weekly time frames, what are the current conditions and how are people behaving. The first one allows you to compound wealth cycle upon cycle, and the second one, the intracycle regime, helps you ensure that you don't mess up this first one, and it also tells you when to increase or decrease your risk. There's a list of about 50 things you can do to make money in crypto. I'd forget about all of them and just focus on understanding this as well as possible, and then also understanding narratives and how to play them. Keep your crypto strategy as simple as possible. So let's go ahead and assess the current market cycle. I have no evidence to suggest that Bitcoin is in a bear market or is going to head into one. So that's why from a broader cycle perspective, I'm still bullish. Now for the intracycle regime, which you can consider as the green line on this chart, let's take a look at the Altcoin Index. As we can see, it's lost its weekly trend and it's unable to reclaim the 200 daily EMA, which means it's very weak and it's in a downtrend. So that's important information to keep in the back of our minds. In the market reports in premium from June, I outlined that it's possible that we just ping pong between the weekly trend and the weekly 200 EMA for quite some time. So to sum up, we're in this weird situation right now where we have Bitcoin still bullish, we have altcoins in a bearish intracycle regime as the weekly trend is still downtrending and it can't even reclaim the daily 200 EMA properly. But then we've also got very powerful cycle-defining support very close to us. So trying to make sense of all of this is very difficult, but we have to try because these are the sorts of inflection points in the market where you either make a lot of money or you lose a lot of money. So that's what I'm going to focus the next part of the video on, assessing how likely it is that we've already bombed over here and seeing realistically how much more pain is yet to come. Now, there was a crucial component I missed in the last section of the video, and that was market context. Market context can give you a lot of useful information as to what to expect next from the market, as the market typically moves opposite from what the crowds are thinking and how they're positioning. So let me ask you something. How are you feeling right now when you look at your portfolio? Most of you are probably not even wanting to check. If that's true for you, imagine all the other people in crypto who are feeling the exact same way. Now think about what this market has been doing to the minds of the people since March. First of all, in March, the altcoin index didn't even really go high enough to elicit any sort of major euphoria in the markets. In fact, the March rally really pissed a lot of people off because it was mainly memes that pumped, and then by the time people did finally accept memes, they got a terrible entry into them, and then they lost money. So we had a rally over here where people did not make as much money as they expected to make, and they were forced to watch as memes pumped, and then the market tormented them for 6 months with continual lower highs and chop that makes them bullish, bearish. Then we had multiple major wipeouts that induced a lot of panic-based selling. And to top it all off, right now we've got people talking about scenarios where a recession is coming and Bitcoin is going to 30k. Now, I don't know about you, but that's a lot for anyone to go through. And keep in mind, most people put in a large percentage of their net worth into crypto. So you can imagine the emotional pain of crypto they've been going through. I'm even seeing big traders try and position for the regime change. If you don't know what that means, that basically means catching the bottom of this green line over here. Because if you're early to this, you can make a lot of money in a short amount of time. And each time they try and position for this regime change and the prices are getting smacked back down, these are all important ingredients that we need. You can just feel the resentment, the fatigue building up in the markets right now. And that's what's going to fuel the next leg of the bull market. People want a really nice bull market and all season, but that usually comes from the back of major pain. So this is why I'm going to go out on a limb and say confidently that the reward for flipping bearish over here is very limited compared to the potential upside of being bullish. And this is exactly why you need to avoid consuming too much crypto content and overloading yourself with information. You also need to avoid imbeciles on social media who will make you feel scared and make you feel like selling. Because I guarantee when the prices go up again, they're going to ask you if you bought the bottom like they did. Now for the most important and valuable piece of this video, we're going to aim to probabilistically assess the likelihood that the $150 billion valuation crash that we got to in early August was the bottom. And we're likely forming some sort of a cycle inflection point over here before a major rally. Now remember that these probabilities are subjective, but it's a useful thinking exercise to make sense of the markets. I don't see anyone making thought videos like this on crypto YouTube. So if you like these videos, make sure you subscribe. I've got some really important videos coming up this week. So let's go ahead and assess the probability that the bottom for the altcoin index is in. First, we need to understand the strength of the $150 billion support region. If this does not hold, we are in for a world of pain. This is the only thing that's separating us from literal bear market territory. So the first thing to note is this was the support of the summer 2021 major crash. It was the final rejection before the final stage of the bear market. And it's also the region where the bull run really began in November 2023, which led to a breakout of 250% for the entire index. The last point I just made is especially important because what it means is when we touched this region on August 5th, it means that most people in the market had given back their entire bull market gains if they had not taken any profit. It means everyone who entered this uptrend after November, which was a lot of people, are all down capital in real terms, not just unrealized P&L. It also means that the prudent investors of the 22-23 bear market who slowly accumulated here, and over here saw very little profits for all their patience in holding. And I think this is a highly significant piece of information that a lot of people aren't considering right now because it makes the markets far less risky. Only now are people starting to think of risk, not realizing that actually the more the prices are going down, the less risky it is becoming. So from this alone, we can conclude that the $150 billion support region is really powerful support. And if we had to ask ourselves the simple question of what's more likely, this support holds or it doesn't hold, I think objectively it's more likely that it will hold, giving a base probability that the bottom is in of greater than 50%. The next thing we need to do is look at the significance of the August 5th crash. The amount of liquidations on that crash was equal to the April 13th war flood and also greater than the FTX crash. It might sound strange to say, but it's actually good when over-leveraged apes get liquidated in major crashes like this, because it means their money is transferred to more patient people. When you think about the amount of forced selling that took us here, in addition to the news at the time, which was major recession fears and the actual stock market dipping like crazy, it provides confluence to support the idea that the bottom was likely in on August 5th. One more piece of supporting evidence is the fact that what's happening with altcoins is completely normal. In fact, this is the exact same pattern that's happened in the last 2 cycles exactly. Watch this video for more information. But the general pattern is Bitcoin will bottom first, altcoins bottom after Bitcoin, then they go on a nice extended long rally before pulling back one final time before the major bull market. And with this cycle, that's exactly what's been happening so far. But what about the counter arguments? What arguments are there to support the idea that $150 billion will not be defended and that was not indeed the bottom? I think the biggest risk to this not holding is the reflexivity of markets and people's emotions. We can never predict or account for that, and that's what makes this game so risky and also so lucrative. There's many things that could trigger further fear in the markets and therefore lower prices, like Kamala odds increasing, further SPX downside. But there's also many positive catalysts to look forward to, like the CZ release at the end of September, looser monetary policy, and ETF inflows picking up again. When you actually think about how many different things are in play, you realize how difficult it is to predict any sort of short-term moves. That's why this actually reminds me of this period of the market. We had a really nice run-up to around 50k in summer of 2021, and then we had a massive correction down to 40k. And that was really powerful support at the time, similar to 48k now. This period, lots of people were calling for lower. They were calling for this level to break. But if you had bought, it would have paid off big. To a certain extent, you need belief that this will hold, and you need to be able to manage your risk and be able to handle it if you are wrong. I believe there is a greater chance that this level holds as opposed to failing, and therefore I've positioned myself accordingly. I encourage you to think about this yourself and think about what could make us go lower than this, and also what could make us reverse and go higher, because this really is a key inflection point for the market that will really make or break a lot of people. Finally, I'm going to discuss what emotions I've been going through recently, and I don't really open up on this channel, but I'm going to do it today. I titled this video, I am seriously concerned about the crypto markets, and my concern is not that prices will go lower. I'm actually experiencing FOMO. I'm concerned about nailing the next leg of the bull market, and I'm concerned about making sure I nail the 90-day window we get every 4 years to make as much money as possible, which is called alt season. When everyone in the market is feeling fear, it makes sense to invert their emotions and to feel FOMO instead. And the reason I feel FOMO is because I know, based on all the experience I have in crypto, the power of a few green candles and how it can dispel all FUD and bearishness. And I also know that people love to speculate and they can't help themselves when they see prices going up. So if you want to see how I'm personally preparing myself for the next leg of the market, check out my premium research service. You'll get access to new coins I'm buying and selling with live portfolio alerts and get access to my exact portfolio. My full exit course for this cycle will be released at the end of this week, so you'll have access to that, which you can use to build your own custom exit strategy. The market conditions aren't going to stay like this forever, and I will be raising the prices. So if you want to get in at the cheapest monthly entry there will ever be, make sure you join now. If you want to pay via crypto, you can get a 40% discount on the annual subscription of premium by heading over to the crypto payment channel in the Discord and then opening a ticket. Thanks for watching this video to the end. This week I'll drop 2 major videos, the Casper price prediction video and the full Trump playbook for October.